Think about a time you met a native speaker. Maybe you were traveling in a foreign country. Maybe they walked into your store. Maybe they stopped you on the street to ask for directions. They looked at you. They smiled warmly at you. They opened their mouth and asked you a very simple question. What happened inside your brain in that exact moment? Did the English words flow out of your mouth easily? Did you feel deeply confident and completely relaxed? Or did you completely freeze like a statue? Did your heart start beating much faster? Did your hands start to sweat? Did your mind suddenly go completely blank? You knew the answer in your head. You opened your mouth to speak. But absolutely nothing came out. You stammered. You looked down at the floor. You felt a deep sense of embarrassment. You felt like a complete failure. You walked away from that conversation feeling angry at yourself. You told yourself, I am just not good at languages. You told yourself, my memory is too weak. You told yourself, I am too old to learn this now. But I want you to look at me and listen to a very important truth. You are not stupid. Your brain is not broken. You do not have a bad memory. You are not too old. The reason you cannot speak fluently right now is very simple. You were lied to. The traditional school system lied to you. Your old English teachers lied to you. The expensive textbooks lied to you. The entire language learning industry lied to you. They told you that learning a language is about memorizing grammar rules. They told you it is about passing very difficult written tests. They told you it takes 5 or 10 years of painful, boring study. This is a complete and total lie. It is a broken system designed to make you fail. It is designed to keep you buying more books and paying for more classes. Today, I am going to completely destroy that old system. I am going to show you how the human brain actually works. I will give you the exact, hidden secret that polyglots use to learn any language. Polyglots are people who speak 5, 10, or even 20 languages fluently. They do not have magic brains. They just use a different method. If you follow these exact steps, you will not need 10 years. You will not need 5 years. You will not even need 1 year. You can learn a new language and speak it confidently in just 6 months. Listen to me carefully. Take a deep breath. Your real journey to fluency starts right now. Chapter 1. The Great School Trap. Let us look closely at how you learned English in high school. Think about that old room. You sat at a hard wooden desk in a quiet classroom. The teacher stood at the front of the room with a piece of white chalk. They wrote, complex, mathematical grammar rules on the blackboard. They taught you about the past perfect continuous tense. They taught you about conditional sentences. They told you to memorize long, boring lists of vocabulary words. They gave you a heavy textbook filled with useless exercises. Fill in the blank space. Choose option A, B, C, or D. Translate this sentence word by word. You studied for hundreds of hours to pass a final written exam. You memorized the rules perfectly. You got a very good grade on the paper. Your parents were very proud of you. Your teacher gave you a beautiful certificate. You thought you knew English. But then, you traveled to a foreign country. You went to a busy coffee shop in London or New York. You tried to order a simple cup of hot coffee, and you realized something absolutely terrifying. Real people do not speak like your old textbook. Real people speak incredibly fast. Real people use strange slang and idioms. Real people connect their words together until they sound like one long sound. When you try to speak to them, your brain acts like an old, slow computer. First, you think of the word in your native language. Second, you translate that word in your head. Third, you check the grammar rule to make sure the sentence is completely perfect. By the time you finally open your mouth to speak, the conversation is already over. The person has already walked away. This happens to you because you learned the language like a math problem. You treated English like a complex puzzle to be solved. But a human language is not a math problem. A language is not a written test. A language is a living, breathing tool for human connection. You cannot learn to play the guitar by reading a thick book about guitars. You have to pick up the wooden guitar and play the strings with your fingers. You cannot learn to swim by reading a book about the physics of water. You have to jump into the cold pool and move your arms. And you cannot learn a language by studying grammar rules on a piece of paper. You have to experience it. You have to feel it. Chapter 2. The Myth of the Language. Gene. Before we learn the real method, we must destroy another dangerous lie. We must destroy the myth of the language gene. Many people believe that some humans are born with a special talent for languages. They think you need a special brain to become fluent. They say, children absorb languages easily, but adults cannot. They say, my brain is too old and too hard. This is scientifically false. Adults are actually much better at learning languages than children. Adults have better focus. Adults understand complex concepts. Adults already know how the world works. The only reason children seem better is because children are not afraid. Children do not care if they look stupid. Children do not care about perfect grammar. If a child wants a toy, they will point and make a loud noise. They will try to say the word fail and try again 100 times. They do not feel shame. Adults feel deep shame. Adults want to be perfect immediately. Adults are terrified of making a mistake in front of other people. Your problem is not your brain age. Your problem is your ego. You must drop your heavy ego today. You must accept that you will make mistakes. You must give yourself permission to sound like a beginner. Once you destroy your fear of looking foolish, your adult brain will learn incredibly fast. You have the exact same brain hardware as the smartest polyglot in the world. You just need to run the right software. Chapter 3. The Baby Method. I want you to think about a newborn baby. Think about a small child learning their very first language. How do they actually do it? Do they go to evening grammar classes? Does a baby sit in a chair with a heavy textbook? Does a mother teach her baby the rules of irregular verbs? Of course not. That sounds completely ridiculous and funny. So, what does the baby actually do? The baby does exactly one thing for the first 2 years of its life. The baby listens. The baby listens to its mother speaking softly. The baby listens to its father laughing. The baby listens to the television playing in the background. The baby listens to the sounds of the real world. At first, all the sounds are just crazy noise. It is just a wall of sound. But slowly, the amazing human brain starts to recognize patterns. The brain connects the sound apple with the round, red fruit on the table. The brain connects the sound no with the angry face of the parent. The baby absorbs the language naturally, without any stress. Scientists call this amazing process comprehensible input. It is the single most important concept in all of language learning. Your brain is the ultimate pattern recognition machine. If you feed your brain enough audio, it will figure out the grammar naturally. You do not need to study the rules. You just need to listen to things you can understand. This is exactly how you acquired your native language. You never studied the grammar of your native language before you could speak it. You just listened, and then you copied. And this is exactly how you must acquire your second language. You must completely stop studying, and you must start absorbing. Chapter 4. The Mathematics of Vocabulary. When people start learning a new language, they feel completely overwhelmed. They look at a thick dictionary. They see 100,000 different words. They think, I will never be able to memorize all of this. My memory is too weak. It will take me the rest of my life. But let me tell you a wonderful, beautiful secret. You do not need to know every word. You do not even need to know half the words. Have you ever heard of the 80/20 rule? In business, it is called the Pareto principle. It means that 20% of your effort creates 80% of your results. This golden rule applies perfectly to language learning. In the English language, there are hundreds of thousands of words, but native speakers only use a very small number of them every single day. In fact, the top 1,000 most common words make up 85% of all daily conversations. Read that again. 85%. If you learn just 1,000 specific words, you will understand almost everything people say to you in daily life. You do not need to know the scientific word for photosynthesis. You do not need to know the historical word for aristocracy. You only need to know high-frequency words. Words like water, go, help, time, need, want, and make. 1,000 words is a very, very small goal. If you learn just 10 new words a day, you will reach your goal in exactly 100 days. That is only 3 short months. Stop trying to learn everything at once. Stop learning useless vocabulary from your old school textbook. Focus your energy entirely on the most frequent, most common words. Build a very strong foundation first. Once you have a strong, concrete foundation, the rest of the house is very easy to build. Chapter 5. Never learn words alone. There is another big mistake people make with vocabulary. They write single words on flashcards. They write dog on one side and the translation on the other. They try to memorize single words like a robot. This is a terrible way to learn. Your brain hates single words without context. Single words have no emotion. Single words have no story. You must never learn words alone. You must always learn words in phrases or sentences. We call these language chunks. Do not learn the word decision. Learn the entire phrase, make a decision. Do not learn the word depend. Learn the entire phrase. It depends on the weather. When you learn phrases, you learn the grammar automatically. You do not need to remember that depend takes the preposition on. Your brain just remembers the whole musical phrase. When you speak, you will not have to build sentences word by word. You will just pull entire phrases out of your memory. This makes your speaking speed much faster. It makes you sound incredibly natural. Always learn with context. Always learn with a story. Chapter 6. The Power of Deep Listening. Now that you know the hidden secrets, how do we build the 6-month plan? Month 1 and Month 2 are entirely about your ears. Most impatient people try to speak on the very first day. They force strange sounds out of their mouth. They get very frustrated because their pronunciation is bad. Do not do this. You must honor the silent period, just like the baby. You must listen before you can speak. You need to completely surround yourself with the new language. You need to create a digital immersion environment. You do not need to buy an expensive plane ticket to America, England, or Australia. You already have the entire world in your pocket. Change the language on your smartphone to English right now. Change the language on your computer and your television to English. Go to YouTube and find videos about things you actually love. This is incredibly important. Do not watch boring English grammar lessons. If you love cooking food, watch cooking videos in English. If you love fast cars, watch car videos in English. If you love fitness and lifting weights, watch fitness videos in English. When you are deeply interested in the topic, your brain wakes up. Your brain pays close attention. Watch the videos with English subtitles if you need to. Do not use subtitles in your native language. Listen to English podcasts while you drive your car to work. Listen to English music while you clean your dirty house. Listen to English stories while you fall asleep in your bed. Flood your brain with the sounds, the rhythm, and the melody of the new language. Do not worry if you do not understand every single word. Do not pause the video to check the dictionary every 5 seconds. Just let the language wash over you like a warm shower. Your subconscious mind is working hard in the background. It is learning the musical notes of the language. Train your ears first. Your mouth will naturally follow later. Chapter 7. The Art of Shadowing. Welcome to month 3 and month 4. Your ears are getting much stronger. You can understand much more audio than before. Now, it is finally time to wake up your mouth. Speaking a new language is a physical exercise. It is exactly like going to the gym for your face. Your native language uses specific physical muscles in your mouth, lips, and tongue. English uses completely different physical muscles. You have to train these new muscles to move in new ways. The best way to do this is a powerful technique called shadowing. Shadowing is very simple to understand, but it is incredibly powerful. You find a clear audio recording of a native speaker. You listen to them speak. One short sentence, and then you repeat the sentence exactly like them. You do not just repeat the words like a boring robot. You copy their human emotion. You copy their exact rhythm. You copy their exact musical melody. You act like a clever parrot. You pretend you are a famous actor in a Hollywood movie. When they raise their voice in surprise, you raise your voice in surprise. When they pause for a second, you pause for a second. Do this for exactly 15 minutes every single day. Go to your private bedroom, close the door, and speak out loud. At first, your mouth will feel very clumsy. Your tongue will feel heavy, thick, and slow. You will make funny, strange sounds. That is perfectly normal and expected. You are building brand new muscle memory in your face. After a few weeks of daily shadowing practice, something magical will happen. The words will start to flow out of you smoothly. Your pronunciation will become clear, crisp, and natural. You will sound less like a textbook and much more like a real human being. Chapter 8: Surviving the Valley of Despair. Before we reach the final stage, I must warn you about a danger. Around month 4, you will hit a wall. We call this the Valley of Despair. In the first few weeks, learning is fun and very fast. You learn basic words quickly. But in month 4, the progress slows down. You feel like you are not improving anymore. You feel like you are stuck on a plateau. You listen to a fast podcast and you still cannot understand it perfectly. You feel a strong desire to quit. You think, this method is not working for me. I should go back to my grammar books. Do not quit. This plateau is an illusion. Your brain is actually doing the hardest work right now. It is building deep, complex neural pathways. It is moving the language from your short-term memory to your long-term memory. You cannot see the roots of a tree growing under the ground, but they are growing deeper every single day. When you feel stuck, do not change the method. Just change the content. Find a new YouTuber to watch. Find a new interesting podcast to listen to. Keep feeding the machine. Push through the dark valley. If you survive month 4, the light will return. You will suddenly wake up one day and understand everything much clearer. Trust the silent process. Chapter 9: Breaking the Fear of Perfection. We are now in month 5 and month 6. You have the core vocabulary. You have trained your ears with deep listening. You have trained your mouth muscles with shadowing. Now comes the absolute hardest part of the entire journey. You must talk to real, living people. For most language learners, this step is completely terrifying. The fear of making a mistake paralyzes their mind. They think, if I use the wrong grammar, they will laugh at my face. If my accent is bad, they will think I am uneducated and stupid. I need you to completely destroy this fear right now. Perfectionism is the ultimate enemy of fluency. Perfection is a heavy, thick wall that stops you from moving forward. Native speakers do not care about your grammar mistakes. Native speakers do not care if you use the wrong preposition. They do not care if you forget the past tense of a verb. They only care about one single thing. They care about human connection. They want to know your thoughts and feelings. They want to hear your unique story. They respect you immensely for trying to speak their difficult language. Think about it in your own life. If a foreigner comes to your country and tries to speak your native language, do you hate them? Do you point and laugh at them when they say a word wrong? No, of course not. You smile warmly at them. You feel happy that they are respecting your culture. You help them find the right word. Native English speakers feel exactly the same way about you. You must be completely willing to look like a fool. You must be willing to make a lot of mistakes. Make 100 mistakes every single day. Celebrate your mistakes. Every mistake is a beautiful, necessary lesson. Every mistake is a single step closer to ultimate fluency. Find a language exchange partner online using an app. Talk to them on a video call from your room. Use the simple words you know. Use your hands and body language if you forget a word. Smile. Laugh at yourself. And just communicate. As is. Language is a messy thing. Embrace the beautiful mess. Chapter 10. The Power of Daily Consistency. I have given you the entire secret roadmap, but a map is completely useless if you do not walk the path. The final, ultimate secret to learning a language in 6 months is discipline. It is not about intense motivation. It is entirely about consistency. Many people get very excited on day 1 of their journey. They study intensely for 5 hours on a Sunday afternoon. They burn out their brain completely. Then, they do absolutely nothing for the next 2 weeks. This is the fastest, easiest way to fail. Your brain needs daily, to repeated exposure to change its physical structure. 30 minutes of practice every single day is infinitely better than 5 hours once a week. You must build an unbreakable daily habit. No excuses allowed. No days off allowed. If you are sick in bed, just listen to an English song for 5 minutes. If you are exhausted after work, just watch one short YouTube video in English. But you must touch the language every single day without fail. Make it a core part of your new identity. You are no longer a person trying to learn English. You are an English speaker in training. Tie the language directly to your daily routines. Review your core vocabulary while you drink your morning coffee. Do your shadowing practice while you take a warm shower. Listen to your English podcast while you walk the dog outside. You do not need extra free time in your busy day. You just need to replace your dead, wasted time with language time. Turn your commute to work into a mobile classroom. Turn your gym workout into a listening session. Consistency will beat raw talent every single time. Conclusion. Look at how far you have come in your mind today. The old, broken school system is finally dead. You no longer fear the boring grammar books. You no longer worry about getting perfect test scores. You know the absolute truth now. Language is not an academic subject to be studied at a desk. It is a vibrant lifestyle to be lived every day. You are going to listen deeply and absorb like a curious child. You are going to focus only on the 1,000 most important words. You are going to learn in phrases, not single words. You are going to shadow native speakers and train your facial muscles. You are going to push through the dark valley of despair. You are going to step into the real world and make beautiful, brave mistakes. And you are going to do it every single day without excuses. Close your eyes and imagine 6 months from now. Your life will be completely different. You will meet a native speaker on the street or at a cafe. They will look at you and ask you a question. You will not freeze in panic. Your heart will remain perfectly calm and steady. You will look them directly in the eye, smile, and reply effortlessly. The English words will flow out of your mouth like clear water. You will feel a deep, powerful sense of pride in your chest. You will realize that the entire world has opened its doors to you. You will have access to new friends, new business opportunities, and new adventures. You will have a mind that is sharper and stronger than ever before. The power to change your life is entirely in your own hands. The 6-month countdown clock starts right now. Do not say you will start tomorrow. Tomorrow is a dangerous lie designed to keep you weak. Change your phone language right now. Listen to your very first podcast today. Take back your power from the system. Master the language. Master your mind. Master your life.